Well, let's get right into it today. It's so good to have you once again on the Leadership Lounge, or maybe it's your first time. I want to welcome all of the first time viewers today, family members of Valor Nation. It's so good to just see fellow leaders investing in themselves, investing in their organizations. Um, it is people like you and people like all of you who are part of this program, part of this community. People like you give me so much hope for our future. And I want to bring some attention once again to our name as Valor. Valor means to have courage. It means courage, especially in battle, courage and bravery, especially in battle. And when I think about leadership, I mean, especially in the day and age we live in, it's going to take a leader of valor, whether you're in business, whether you're in ministry, if you're in the arts. I mean, just whatever arena, athletics, whatever arena that you might be in, academics, we need to have valor, to have courage, and to have bravery. It takes that in leadership, no matter what arena that you are in. And I want to do my best to just equip you with knowledge and with the education, with the accountability, with the encouragement that I can to fuel that valor thing that is in you. And so that's why this program exists. That's why the Leadership Lounge is here. Today, I want to talk about branding. Now, it feels like we're making a hard pivot from talking about courage and bravery. Now we're talking about branding. And it all goes hand in hand. The branding of your message, of your service, of your business, it matters so much. It absolutely matters. So today I want to talk about branding 101. Branding 101. So what is a brand? The first thing that we think of when we hear the word brand is your identifying look. The look, specifically maybe your logo, the fonts, the colors, or maybe fonts, the colors, maybe even another layer deeper, the aesthetic of your company, the visualization, the visuals, the looks, the graphics, branding, and that matters. I was at a get together not too long ago, and there was this gentleman. He was wearing his, I guess, softball jersey or something, and the text that they used, the font rather that they used to for the numbers on the back, it was a font that I was very familiar with, and I was like, where do I know that font? And it was the Angry Birds font. The game on your phone, Angry Birds. It was the font that was used in Angry Birds. And because Angry Birds, they got that type of font, and it just embedded in my mind that is their font. I couldn't stop thinking all night about Angry Birds. That is part of branding. It's like they own that font now. Okay, so that's just a small part of your branding, but your identifying look. So you want to go back and forth between the same couple fonts. You don't want your stuff all over the place. You want it to be in unison. I encourage you as an organization to have a brand book. Especially as you begin to scale your company, you begin to bring on graphic, designers, and begin to maybe franchise or go multiple locations, campuses or whatnot. You want a brand book. This is where we stay, and this is where we live, and we don't venture outside of what is within this book. You want your stuff in unison to match, for it to look the same. Okay. There are a few different fonts that I will not get outside of unless I'm doing some type of creative venture with Valor. I know my fonts through and through. I know what I use. And so it's your identifying look. It's also a lifestyle that comes with your brand. it provides a lifestyle. It also provides an experience that comes with your brand. Branding is such a hot topic now. Maybe when I'm hanging out with friends, or we're kind of just joking around, but if they maybe wear an outfit that I usually wouldn't see them in, they'll joke and say, I know this is a little bit outside of my brand, or this is a little off brand of me. Maybe you don't have friends that are just being facetious like that, but I think about, like, if I'm wearing recently, to let you in a little bit, I haven't worn, outside of maybe going to do an outside job, I haven't really worn boots too much, like cowboy boots, right? So it wasn't that long ago, I told my assistant, I said, hey, will you do some research in this specific company, set up an appointment for me to go in and try on these certain boots? I'm really getting back into boots now. I don't know what it is. I said, I know it's a little off brand or outside of brand for me, but I want to kind of add this to my array of outfits. Just kind of add it to maybe the brand, bring something new into it. But when we talk about branding, it's like it's a part of our language now. And so you want that for your organization as well. So anyways, it provides a lifestyle. Okay. When people experience your company, when people experience certain parts of the lifestyle that it might provide, it's embedded in their mind that this is a part of the brand. It's a part of the organization. It's part of who we are. So it's, of course, your identifying look, it's lifestyle, it's experience. If you go to Disney, for the most part, what you're going to get, you're going to have a blast. You're going to have a fun time, generally speaking. Okay, because it's a part of their brand. A lot of this is culture talk as well, because values dictate brand and culture. And so really it's a values conversation here, but it's kind of a different wing of values outside of culture, but it's really married here. Okay. That's why I encourage you to spend time breaking down your values, because everything is going to come from that place, values and vision. Okay. So lifestyle experience, of course, it provides customer service, customer trust. Again, that's a cultural item as well, but they're really one and the same in this conversation. But I want to talk about today the message of your branding. That was really a long introduction to get to this part right here, the messaging of your branding. So it's beyond your visuals, beyond graphics, beyond experience, beyond lifestyle, beyond customer service, customer trust. It's the message of your brand. Can you verbalize to me? Can you tell me what your company is, who your company is, why your company is, who do you do it for? And so that's part of your branding. How do you break down your brand into words? I'm going to talk to you today about how to do that. And I really hope that it encourages you and it simplifies what you and your teams are trying to accomplish when it comes to your organizations. Okay, let's get into it. I want to break down today how to write what this guru by the name of Donald Miller. I encourage you to get both of these books, Marketing Made Simple and Business Made Simple. Okay. Donald Miller is the CEO of Story Brand. He talks about having a one-liner in your business, a one-liner. We're going to talk about the short version, then I'm going to show you my personal elongated version of what my one-liner is. And I should be able to walk around and say this line backwards, maybe even in a different language, because I know it so well. It's essentially part of your elevator pitch, right? So if I were to ask you, what do you do in your company? What does your organization do? Why you? And what you don't want to do, which what I've done so much, is be like, well, we kind of do a plethora of things. We do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You didn't lay out to me the problem, the solution, which is your own process, and then the impact that comes with it. And I had no idea that I could write something in such a way until I began to really, until I, number one, was in enough of those type of conversations. And I was always bothered and frustrated by my response. I'm like, I didn't give them clarity. And therefore the sell or the exposure or the reputation, the brand wouldn't get out there. Okay. And I wouldn't help as many people as what I knew the service and the process could help. But because of my lack of communication when it comes to the brand, who we are, why we are, what we do, why we do it, I would always walk away from this conversation. So I'm going to give you 3 points today on how to write your one-liner when it comes to your brand messaging. Okay. Your one-liner. 3 quick points that I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and then we can dialogue more about it. Maybe in some one-on-ones, we can jump on the phone, jump on a FaceTime, or of course in our community Slack channel. So 3 points, and of course, coming from a preacher, I got to put it, I got to put it in an alliteration. Right? I got to make the first letter all the same. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 3 S's today on how to write your brand messaging, your one-liner. All right, number 1, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just like, when it comes to your vision and mission, we've talked about this before. You want it simple. You want it sizzling. You want it to be easy to remember and easy to repeat. Okay. Easy to remember, easy to repeat. Okay. So keep it simple. You want your entire team. This is so important. You want your entire team to know this like their own reflection. Okay. Your entire team should know this one-liner. What do you do? What do you do here at this organization? What does this organization do? Well, let me tell you. Boom, one-liner, polished, clear, simple. Okay. Number 2. So number 1 is keep it simple. Number 2, keep it specific. Okay. Niche down. If you try to reach everybody, you won't reach anybody. Okay. It's just so backwards in our thinking. When we have so much heart to help so many people, we think that if we generalize our mission statement, vision statement, branding, we think if we generalize it, we'll reach everybody, when actually at the end of the day, we might reach a few. But if we niche down with our messaging and actually attempt to reach a very specific audience, we'll actually reach more people because it's specific. I'm tired of reading generalized mission statements, messaging, because I'm like, that might relate to me, but it's not specific enough. It doesn't really grip my heart. It might intrigue me for a moment, but I'm not going to inquire. If you want to move from intrigue to inquiry, you need a very specific brand message. So keep it specific. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about in just a moment. And of course, number 3, keep it selfless. Okay. Donald Miller uses an example of this messaging, somebody's brand messaging on the website in big bold letters. This company wrote, "I'm so glad you found us." Well, for me, I'm probably just it's not gonna make me inquire. It's not gonna pull me in. You want to keep your messaging selfless. Make it all about the consumer. Make them the hero in the story. Write something that will help them. It's not about you. Your service is for them. So make your messaging clear. So we are here to help you. So write it selflessly. Take yourself out of the equation. And because people innately, they want to know, what can you do for me? How can you help me? Okay, we talked about this last week in our incredible sales call with my brother Jason Westbrook, and the week before we talked about persuasion. So I encourage you to go back and look at it. Jason is doing an incredible job with his company. Please go back and watch that. But he talked about how sales are emotional. People want to know, how can it help me? How can it make things easier? How can it give me a greater, level, at least of seemingly, of greater status in the community, etc. He broke that down last week. Go back and listen to it. So keep it simple, keep it specific, and keep it selfless. Okay, here's how to write it. in one version or another, here is how to write your messaging. Okay, write this down. 3 bullet points. You need to list out what you do, who you do it for, and why you do it. What you do, who you do it for, and why you do it. Once again, I want you to get this in. I want us to get this in our minds today. What we do, who we do it for, and why we do it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, kind of show you Valor's. I'm going to show you another client web page here as well, and then maybe resource you a couple times here. Let's see, share my screen. Okay, let's go here. You see my website. This is Valor Coaching Agency. This is the host of the Leadership Lounge. You know that by now. Very clearly put, this is what we do. We help leaders, executives, and their teams win, plus find fulfillment. So you're on Valor Coaching Agency. You know that we are a coaching agency already. So if I was in public pitching my company, I would say we are a leadership coaching agency that helps leaders, executives. But again, this is assumed because you are already on the website. So you know that's what we do. So what do? We help leaders, executives, and their teams win. Okay, that's what we do. This is who we do it for, leaders, executives, and their teams. That's who we do it for. And this is why we do it. We want you to win and find fulfillment. So the fulfillment part is the impactful part. Okay? Win and find fulfillment. Okay? That's what we do. We just got done building this out for one of our clients, Ronnie Ford. He's the CEO of Cutting Edge. It is a lawn and landscape company doing an incredible job up in Durant, Oklahoma. And so, okay, so let me kind of, before I get into what his says, I want to kind of break down something. So if I were to get on a lawn and landscape page and it just listed out all the services, I might be intrigued a little bit, but there's not enough there necessarily to completely sell me, because I can get lawn and landscape from multiple places. But when I think about one of my pain points in life, generally speaking, is that I feel like constantly I don't have enough time to do everything that I want to do. I think many of you can relate to that, especially if you are a leader or even a parent. You are constantly on the move, especially if you are an executive on this call. And then, of course, on top of that, navigating family and everything like that, which is absolutely incredible. And I commend you all for doing what you do and still going after your dreams. And thank God for supporting families. Amen. But, you know, one of the things that I want to have back is time. So what I'm looking for is more time. So Ronnie and I were talking, and I said, okay, besides an immaculate yard, you know, an immaculate job, excellent. I said that's assumed. I assume that because you're a company that you value, you know, some type of excellence, at least a version of diligence in my yard. But what is really going to strike a chord in my heart? You know, I'm thinking, man, I want more time. So the way that he positioned his company, which makes him stand out, this is so key. This is the differentiator. So what is the differentiator for you when it comes to your brand messaging with other companies? Maybe other companies do the same thing you're doing, but because it's not in their messaging, people don't know it. So Ronnie wrote this: in a season where life is busy, yes, it already has my attention, because that's the problem. He laid out a problem for me. The problem is life is busy. He says, we're here to give back that time for what matters most. Oh my gosh. So this is why he does it. The why is what intrigued me. So obviously he's a lawn and landscape. He's already listed that out here on his website. That's why we're here. Here's the problem. So now we're getting to a little bit into the deeper parts of messaging. He laid out a problem. It immediately intrigued me. This is what they do. They give me back time, and this is why they do it, because I want to spend that time with for what matters most. And this is what they do. Superior Landscaping. Okay. So, and of course, to take it further with his website, very clear. This is where to start. Start here. A big clear button. Sometimes our websites simply have too much happening. Okay, let me kind of break down my website really quickly. This is, of course, a one-on-one teaching. I know I'm moving quickly here, but this is what we do it for, why we do it. Okay, and of course, this is who we are. We are a coaching agency. Okay, start here. So a big clear button, of course, takes it a little bit deeper. Step one, this is the same link, the same form it goes to with that button right there. So you'll see it goes to my CRM and it goes to a form. And I'm sure that some of you probably filled this form out. Okay, I know we're getting really practical today, but this is that. Okay, takes me to a new link. But again, this big button right here is the same link as this one right here. So you keep scrolling. Okay, these are the services that we offer. This big button right here, ready? It takes us to the exact same link. So no matter where they are on the page, it takes them all to the same link. I want to funnel everything through one simple form and not confuse the clients. Okay, and this is what you do when you start here. You're going to book this free 15-minute conversation. Okay, so now let me open up a little bit my brand messaging. Okay, so basically it's saying a lot of the same stuff here, but I'm now listing out a little bit of a problem. So Ronnie's version on the cutting edge lawn and landscape, it was a sort of a hybrid between the two, or really a combination. Okay, it was short form elongated is what he did. It was incredible. Okay, if we were honest, and I quote, if we were honest, many leaders struggle with feeling undertrained, overwhelmed, insecure, and out of control. So for me, I already can relate to that as a leader, because we are specifically a leadership coaching agency. We at Valor have a proven process. Here's the solution. So here's the problem. Here's the solution. Like any good messaging, any good sales pitch you hear, it's going to start with a problem. Any good sermon that you hear, it's going to start with a moment of tension, conflict, a problem. And we spend the rest of the 30 minutes laying out the solution for it. Okay. So we at Valor have a proven process that helps them excel personally and professionally. Here's the why: resulting in a greater level of fulfillment and impact. Okay, so I hope that helps with some of the brand messaging here. Let's go through my notes here. Okay, so I encourage you to start with the one-liner, which again, it's what you do, who you do it for, why you do it. There might be a couple different versions of one-liners depending on what context or what setting it is in. If you're already on the website, people probably know that you are already a health club, a trucking company, a publisher, whatever it might be. Lay some version of this out, what you do, who you do it for, why you do it. Of course, the elongated version is talking about the problem, the solution, and then adding these other factors in there. Okay. An incredible link I'm going to share with you today. It's really an entire workshop that Donald Miller did. I'm going to send you the link, and I believe it's going to help you and bring a lot more clarity, but I want to resource you with that link today. And also Donald Miller, storybrand.com. I think he has some workshops coming up. I noticed this last night. I don't know too much about what's going to happen. I don't know if there's a rate registration involved. I was looking into it last night and it popped up, and I said, I got to let the lounge family know about this. So any moment now. Anyways, here in a few weeks, Donald Miller, he has some type of seminar, virtual conference coming up, I believe. Here we go. Register now. Create a clear message. That's what we need, and a 5-part marketing plan for your business. There's a live stream happening. Register now on the 22nd and 23rd. I encourage you to look into this. Storybrand.com. Okay, storybrand.com. All right. And then, of course, a few books that I want to encourage you to go get. Business Made Simple. It's basically a 60-day. He claims it to be a 60-day business degree, but it's modern writing. And it's like a 60-day devotional. Really cool layout. and then of course, Marketing Made Simple. So I encourage you to get these 2 books, no matter what company you might be a part of. All right. So it cut me off there. I gotta splice the 2 videos together, but we're essentially done. There's one more resource that I want to encourage you to go get. I've talked about it before, but it's a book called Copywriting Secrets. Copywriting Secrets. Now, it's not talking about the type of copywriting that you essentially have the legal ownership of this or that. It's talking about copy, like a text writing, WRITING. Okay, copywriting. Any type of caption, any type of headline, any magazine article, any website verbiage, social media. I mean, that's all called copy. Okay. So Copywriting Secrets, Marketing Made Simple, Business Made Simple. And of course, there's another book called Story Brand. All right. I encourage you to get that as well, by Donald Miller. Of course, I am a big fan, and his company has helped mine tremendously. And then I encourage you, one last thought. I encourage you to have what we call a CTA, a call to action, on every email, on your website, on every social media. Have one clear link. This is what you click on, so, and then of course you wouldn't say something like, if you would like a 15-minute consultation, click here. You say, book your free consultation here. So it's a call to action. It's not a request or a suggestion. Make it very clear, because people, again, that's just an emotional thing, and people will be more inclined to click it, especially when it's clear and simple. This is where I go. Okay. Hope that helped you at all today. I know I talked sometimes fast. I stuttered over my words. I was so excited to get this out, and my first cup of coffee is kicking in, and I should probably limit me to 1 today, because I'm just so fired up and so encouraged, and I'm ready to tackle this week, and I hope that you are too. Hey, thanks so much, leader, for doing what you do. I encourage you to continue to move with that courage and bravery that we talked about earlier, and continue to step out and just go for it. Okay. Keep changing lives, keep helping our society, our economy, keep bringing solutions where there are problems. I love you dearly, and it's so good to have you today. Once again, welcome to all the new timers. It's good to have you. So we'll talk to you soon. God bless.